They stop labeling it controversial? Probably never. It's actually kind of annoying that everyone just basically takes it for granted that I am a controversial guy. Controversial is, I guess, better than anti-Semitic. But like they either say controversial or they say anti-Semitic, which I really don't like. But here's the situation. They will continue doing that. And it's really interesting because they didn't used to do that. They did not used to do that back in the day. It's only after I started getting more actively involved with campaigns. Yes, I got that the video is fucking louder than my mic. I got it. Calm down.
News at 10.
Good evening. We start with Commitment 2026. Just 9 days until Wisconsin's primary elections. The race for governor in the spotlight. 4 Democrats competing for their party nomination. Joel Brennan, David Crowley, Francesca Hong, and Kelda Royce. The winner of the August 11th primary will take on Republican Tom Tiffany in November. Tiffany already has his party's endorsement. One candidate bringing a controversial political streamer to a campaign stop in South.
I like that Wisconsin behaves like a small potato town. You know what I mean? Wisconsin behaves like a small potato town where they're like, oh, they brought a celebrity superstar from the outside world. Like, and he's quite the controversial guy. It's like, yeah, it's fine, man. We got hella HasanAbi heads in Wisconsin. I know now. Louder, please. Is it super loud? I can't tell.
Milwaukee today. 12 News' TJ Dysart
I feel
takes
like
us there.
I'm the same level of loudness now.
Taking center stage.
When will they stop labeling it controversial? Probably never. It's actually kind of annoying that everyone just basically takes it for granted that I am a controversial guy. Controversial is, I guess, better than anti-Semitic. But like they either say controversial or they say anti-Semitic, which I really don't like. But here's the situation. They will continue doing that. And it's really interesting because they didn't used to do that. They did not used to do that back in the day. It's only after I started getting more actively involved with campaigns. Yes, I got that the video is fucking louder than my mic. I got it. Calm down. I know. I got it. Is that good? Is this good? Jesus Christ. Holy shit. Like, calm down. Anyway, the point I was trying to make is it's definitely annoying because before I got involved with campaigns, before I started throwing this weight around, the weight of this community around, and pushing for candidates that they also consider quote unquote controversial, the media loved me. They would call me the Joe Rogan of the left, and they were like, "Oh, this guy's like the whisperer to the bros, the whisperer to the white bros all around," right? And as soon as I started working with campaigns, from Zoran Mamdani's all the way to these sequence of insurgent victories, all of a sudden everyone's like, this is the 9/11 guy. This is Mr. 9/11. He did 9/11. He loves 9/11. He's Mr. Anti-Semitism. He's super anti-Semitic. It's like, it's not, they're not slick. Like, I know what's going on. They were saying you were controversial back then. No, not. Brother. No, the fuck they weren't. It certainly wasn't to this degree. Are you kidding me? Mostly they would just say progressive, liberal, very liberal. Those were the terms that they would use prior to like even post October 7th, after the election. The way that they covered me was never anti-Semitic or controversial. The way that they covered me was basically as a the way they covered me was at most like very progressive, very liberal content creator. You're objectively controversial, man. It's not a big deal. Okay, I don't think you guys understand how this works. If the media keeps saying something, the media has every opportunity not to do this. But the reason why they do this is because once they start promoting it like this, then it becomes the reality. Okay? A big part of my fucking job is to do media literacy and media criticism. And a part of my job is to also explain to you how certain things, certain metas begin. Okay? So being called controversial is bad. I mean, it's just a negative framing, which is precisely there's a tool. This is a tool. Okay? It snowballs into something after enough mainstream coverage flips and starts covering me as a controversial person. Okay? That's it. Now, it doesn't necessarily matter all that much for average folk. Obviously, there are some who hear it and they get their notes from mainstream outlets and they think, oh, this is a controversial guy. They didn't think twice. Okay? Now, they either say anti-Semitic, terrorist, or controversial. They don't say who I'm controversial to. I'll give you another example. Divisive. The media loves using the term divisive, right? This is an important narrative tool. It's an important narrative building mechanism that the media utilizes. What are some issues that they call divisive? Israel-Palestine is an issue that is dividing the base of the Democratic Party. But you all know that it's not actually divisive in the base of the party at all. Divisive to who is what one must ask. Okay? This is another tool that they deploy here to say, oh, he's just a controversial guy. It's just a way to frame the issues as controversial. Attack the messenger because you can't tackle the message. And then once it's established that I'm a controversial guy, then everybody else, just repeats that verbatim without really thinking about it, without really considering it. That's how it is. They did this with Ilhan Omar for years as well. And they're doing it to me in a similar manner.
At South Milwaukee High School Sunday, controversial political streamer Hasan Piker, alongside Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, both rallying behind gubernatorial candidate and Democratic Socialist Francesca Hong.
Not only are we going to run up the numbers for Francesca Hong on August 11th, but we are going to take that victory to the general election to make sure that the Republican Tom Tiffany never gets a seat of power ever again.
The support comes with less than 10 days until the August 11th primary. Hong previously appearing on Piker's stream in late June. Since then, the streamer has participated in fundraising efforts supporting her campaign.
It seems like Wisconsin is making its choice. And it's not me, it's all of us.
Some Democrats, including Democratic candidate David Crowley, have criticized Hong for associating with Piker. In 2019, Piker faced widespread backlash after saying Americans, quote, deserved the September 11th attacks, a statement he later walked back. Other critics claim Piker has made anti-Semitic remarks in the past. Hong with Reporters Sunday.
Is it a risk appearing alongside these guys as you kind of frame and head into the general?
It would be a risk not to try to build the broadest coalition possible. I think that one of the reasons we see Republicans or the right attack leaders like Representative and Hasan is because they know that they're losing, that the people are powerful and want the issues that they fight for.
And the race is now heating up with less than 10 days to go until the August 11th primary. County Executive David Crowley now fresh off an endorsement from Congresswoman Gwen Moore. He's expected to hit the campaign trail this week with Governor Tony Evers. Reporting in the newsroom, TJ Dysart, WISN 12 News.
In a statement to 12 News, Republican candidate Tom Tiffany writing in part, Francesca Hong choosing to campaign with individuals who said America deserved 9/11, called communism the honorable end goal, and believe capitalists should be killed is certainly a choice. It also reflects much of the Democrat socialist agenda Francesca Hong is promoting. And the most recent shakeup in the governor's race came last week when Democratic candidate Mandela Barnes dropped out. The latest Marquette University Law School poll
I already
conducted
blasted off, chatters. I already blasted off. It's here somewhere. I forget. Didn't I blast off already? Pretty sure I did. Yeah, it's right here. I think I forgot to promote it, though. Anyway, we have to move out already super early. Also, David, I don't know what you tweak, but it's not yeah, you tweak something, but the laptop camera is not working for some reason. Look, see? It's locked. So how do we lock it? Oh, there's a button. Oh, maybe. Hold on. Do you need the SD card that's in here, by the way? Okay. Hold on. I'll figure this out real quick. Is that it? No, that's not it. Hold on. God damn it. What the fuck am I doing? Okay. Is this it? No, that's not it. No, that's not the right one anyway. Is it F11? No. Is it? Oh, that's just mute. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where the shutter is because we have to flip it. We have to take the camera off. And I have no idea where the fuck it is. I think it's an actual button. Clicking thing, maybe. All right, well, look it up, and then maybe you can figure it out. Oh, it's F8? No. I don't know what that's doing. It's just like, no. There's nothing here, right? No. You can click on here. Anyway. It's F10. I don't think it's F10. Yeah. It's not that, chat. Did you see the Wesley Bell diss track? No, I did not. You sound mad tired, yo? Oh, I am tired. I'm sick and tired. Careful of the diarrhea lettuce. I mean, let me tell you something, okay? It's not the diarrhea lettuce that's cooked me, but the Culver's cheese curds definitely did, okay? All right, fuck it. I'm just gonna here. Just take it off. Just no camera. We'll just hit no cam. We'll just go into reacts directly. All right.
Barnes was still in the race. Shows Francesca Hong leading the Democratic pack with 38%, but a significant 34% of those polled were still undecided.
Yeah, you can take that.
WISN 12 hosted the only live debate between the Democratic candidates for governor. If you missed the hour-long conversation on Tuesday, you can catch it in full on the 12 News app and our YouTube page.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the CBS 58 News at 9. I'm Monserrico-san. We are 9 days away from the primary election for governor in Wisconsin. Today, Democratic frontrunner Francesca Hong held a rally at South Milwaukee High School with some big names in the progressive movement. Our Catherine Merck joins us in studio with a breakdown of all the developments in the race this past week. Catherine?
Hi, Monse. Good evening. The weeks leading up to the Democratic primary for governor have been filled with shakeups. But on Sunday, State Representative Francesca Hong reminded the young crowd at her rally that her campaign has maintained momentum.
My name is Francesca Hong, and it would be an honor.
Wait, no webcam? That's crazy, bro. I had no fucking clue. Oh my God. Maybe it's because we accidentally locked the webcam and can't unlock it for some reason. But thank you, chatter, for letting me know. Thank you for letting me know, big dog. I know. I'm very aware. I'm very aware of what the fuck's going on. Okay, I'm in here. I'm very aware. We just, you know. It's not F10. It doesn't work. I tried. Okay? That doesn't do shit. Yeah, F10 just is the snipping tool. There you go. I tried it. It's fine. All right.
To be your next governor.
In a crowd surrounded by her supporters at South Milwaukee High School, many voters shared what is convincing them to vote for the Democratic Socialist in this swing state.
She's also the only one that's really listening to workers and anti-big tech.
She represents everything that I honestly believe our politics should be like.
The Democratic primary on August 11th will be the latest test of just how far left voters are willing to go in the November midterm.
This is where the sewer socialists showed what government can do when serving the people and not the corporations.
Hong spoke alongside Congresswoman Ilhan Omar from Minnesota, who endorsed Hong in April, along with left-wing commentator Hasan Piker, who has divided Democrats for previous comments that critics have called anti-Semitic and anti-American.
It's an incredible honor to be here today at the beating heart of the historic American socialist movement's capital, Wisconsin.
During the event, Hong said she believes her supporters are united to take down the likely Republican candidate, Tom Tiffany.
When people want to fight for something together, when they see something they believe in and they start to believe in one another, I think the Dems are going to have to write a new playbook here.
According to the Marquette University Law School poll results that were released last week, Hong is in the lead with 38%. Just over a third of voters were undecided. Mandela Barnes was in second place behind Hong.
Okay.
He dropped out last week. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley has moved into second.
Yeah, the camera is manually locked. We can't figure out how to fucking fix it, but it doesn't matter because we're moving out right now anyway. We're mobilizing right now.
In place with Barnes dropping out. He's endorsed by Governor Tony Evers and was endorsed by Congresswoman Gwen Moore of Milwaukee on Friday. State Senator Kelda Roys and former Department of Administration Secretary Joel Brennan are polling in the single digits.
Let's hear it one more time for your future governor, Francesca Hong!
As Hong's campaign aims to excite voters heading into the primary, her supporters already have their eyes on the November election.
The momentum is here.
As we know, President Trump is trying to protect the vote by passing the Save America Act. The scandal in New Jersey is adding a renewed sense of urgency to that legislation after thousands of non-citizens were found to be on the state's voter rolls. And a Biden-appointed federal judge blocked the DOJ from gaining access to the rolls. I don't know why. Joining us for tonight's big close-up is Democrat New Jersey Congressman Josh Gottheimer, the perfect person for me to ask about this, Congressman. We always appreciate when a Democrat is willing to come on and mix it up with us. So I got to ask you, not only because you're a Democrat, but also because you represent New Jersey. I got to ask you about these non-citizens being on
God's country.
Yeah, well, we think Tennessee and Georgia are, but hey, listen, New Jersey's great too. But I do want to ask you about perhaps some of the flaws in the motor voter program, which seems to be at the heart of kind of what happened here and is likely perhaps still happening. And I know the Democrat position is maybe against voter ID, Save America Act, but given what's happened in your state of New Jersey, do you think that there's a conversation worth having on some of the vulnerabilities there?
Well, I think in New Jersey, as you've probably read, the massive vulnerability that we found so far was a technological one. So people were getting on to the rolls who shouldn't have been because they hired this outside vendor who appears to have screwed up. At least that's what the initial reports show. But obviously nobody who shouldn't be voting. So I believe that as the governor has launched not only a full investigation, but already announced last week she was purging those who were registered who shouldn't have been. And I think we have to keep taking action like that. I think it's very important. But also, as you probably know, and I don't know if this was brought up to you, but the company, Indemia, who designed this program is very involved all across the government, the federal government. They're doing background checks all over the place at DHS and Department of Defense and at the FBI and screenings at the airport with the pre-check. So to me, what's most important is we get to the bottom of where these glitches are and making sure the technology is fixed.
Do you think that there are some inherent vulnerabilities, though, when you have a motor voter program that registers people to vote, non-citizens who in some cases don't even realize that they're registered to vote, don't even realize when they get that ballot in the mail that they shouldn't vote? Do you think that that presents a problem that's worth taking a look at?
Well, certainly we should look to make sure that in the case of the program here in New Jersey or any other state, if you're going to have registration at motor vehicles, that the system works properly. I have no problem with making it easier for citizens to register to vote and to vote. Like, we should make it easier for citizens to do so, and as long as they're actual citizens, and that's important. Because watch we make it harder for people to vote. People are busy, they work hard. That's very important in our country that people can vote. But as you pointed out, let's make sure the system is airtight, and that's what I think is very important.
I love airtight with some voter ID and proof of citizenship, but I'm going to move on because we might not see eye to eye on that one. Congressman, as you know, Election Day is this Tuesday for Michigan and Missouri. The socialists are really hoping to steal that show. This weekend, Fox News asked attendees at the DSA summit about their plans and why they joined that socialist movement. Take a listen.
Right now, we're thinking about running a party campaign around sanctuary campuses, getting ICE off of our campuses.
If people want to say we're un-American, I say we're doing the most American thing you could possibly do.
Honestly, the same kind of stuff that I am used to growing up in the Christian church. It's a lot of the same sort of like helping out your neighbors. That's the ethos of democratic socialism.
DSA leaders are pushing their policies to an audience that wants to overhaul that Democrat Party.
Our police and prison system is stacked toward persecuting poor people. The language that we have in there is abolishing the police and prison system that protects capital over people.
The Democratic Party needs reform. Look, this is a party that hasn't delivered enough for working class Americans. We shouldn't have watched wealth pile up in Wall Street and Silicon Valley. We need a new, bold economic visions.
Congressman, I don't believe you consider yourself a socialist, so I want to ask you, do you think that there's a lot of overlap between traditional Democrats such as yourself and the Democrat socialists that are giving the establishment a run for its money?
Well, obviously, I'm a very proud, common sense Democrat, and I don't think DSA members are Democrats. They're socialists, right? And I'm all for them having their own party if they want one. But if they're trying to take over our party, that's unacceptable to me. And their values, their ideas, and are certainly not in line with ours. And they don't support our leadership. They're trying to use the Democratic Party as a vessel for their ideas. And as you heard in some of these conventions, literally they're supporting the Communist Manifesto and Trotsky. They're anti-American. They're anti-cop. They don't believe in borders, and frankly, the good news is there's only about 150,000 of them registered, and there's 45 million Democrats. And so we should make it very clear that they're not Democrats and they're not welcome in the Democratic Party.
But if I could say respectfully, Congressman, there are a number of Democrats who absolutely do support them. And we're talking about people like AOC, for example. Some squad members seem to be very enamored with what we're seeing out of the socialists. And I'm just curious, how do you separate the two? Because some of the real luminaries of your party seem to be very cozy and comfortable with what seems to be a creeping, metastasizing socialism within your party. And how concerned are you as well with the, as John Fetterman put it, another Democrat, he's on the Senate side, with the creeping anti-Semitism that also seems to be enveloping parts of your party? Do you see why people are concerned about that?
Well, certainly. It's why I'm saying that they're not welcome. And just like in the Republican Party, you've got members who are trying to barge in with ideas that are not compatible with the Republican Party. You know who they are. And they've, like said, you've kind of said to them, you're not welcome here. It's the same thing. Like their ideas and their values are not aligned with ours. When you're anti-cop, anti-American, you're against small businesses or owning property, that makes no sense. And I think we have to make it very clear that they're not Democrats, they're socialists. And to your point, some of these folks, they're going to be loud, but there's just a few of them compared to where most Democrats are. And they're going to scream and yell and get a lot of attention for their ideas. But the bottom line is they're socialists. And we've got to make it pretty clear that that's not the future of the Democratic Party.
All right, Congressman, listen, Wisconsin's Democrat candidate for governor, Francesca Hong, was joined on the campaign trail by the darling of the socialist there, Hasan Piker, and of course, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Here's a bit of what they had to say today.
These are not radical ideas. What's radical is the undermining of the labor class.
This is where workers collectively bargained for their rights. This is where communities build movements. This is where the sewer socialists showed what government can do when serving the people and not the corporations.
We're standing up to the people who are complicit in upholding the billionaires.
Yeah, you say there's just a few of them. I 1/3 of your party in some places. But even beyond that, today James Carville said very matter-of-factly on this network that if the Democrat Party becomes the party of Hasan Piker, it's either him or Hasan has to go. And does that same sentiment resonate with you? Is there someone on the ballot? Maybe it's Chevalier here in New York, that if that's who Jeffries wraps his arms around, you'll be looking for a different party too.
Well, Jeffries won't, and let me be very clear that Hasan Piker is not a Democrat. That guy's the ultimate grifter, right? He's a guy who said that 9/11 is America's fault. Yeah. Right? He's just an online personality. And we got to make it clear he's not welcome here in the Democratic Party. And I think you've heard a lot of voices like James Carville and others make it clear they're not welcome here. And I think, I'm not even contemplating those kind of ideas because we're going to have a big night Tuesday night. Haley Stevens is going to win. We're going to make it clear. You saw Plattner obviously thrown off in Maine. And we got to make it abundantly clear over and over again that those are not ideas that are welcome in the Democratic Party. We need common sense ideas. We got to stand up for affordability, for getting costs down, right? Whether it's electric bills or the cost of food to make life more affordable for people. That's got to be our focus. These anti-American ideas or shutting down, prisons or saying, those things are not welcome here. We support law enforcement. We support common sense ideas. And that's what the Democratic Party is about. They're going to keep yelling and screaming and they can do their own thing. But they're not welcome here.
Congressman, you've said that their ideas are not anything like the Democratic Party establishment and not anything like your own. And yet, functionally, when it comes down to the actual policy implications, they're not actually all that different. There was
I'm sorry. I'm flipping it. She hacks Trump.